Apparently if the skin's good, it won't like leak, it'll just kind of like hold itself together. But if it doesn't, it may like make a bit of a mess. So it's like...
Oh, nice. The running adds to it.
Normally if you get one good haul, it like hooks you.
Yeah.
And like every night that week, your back's saying, oh, can we get
Oh,
this thing?
really?
Yeah, you kind of like get the rush and you're like, oh, I gotta keep getting into it. Well, do you want to get on garlic
Yep.
and onion batosh?
Yep.
I'll do
They might cry, but that's fine.
Yeah.
You know, you've been out, what, so this is second time this week?
Yeah,
Yeah,
probably like
and
1 or
then
2 times a week.
This will be feed the whole crew.
Yeah,
Or the house. The housemates.
yeah.
So it's a Tuesday, lots of bread. I'm not into bread. I don't even freaking buy bread. Like, I feel like you'd have to be insane to buy bread because so much is chucked out. Maybe we'll take the prosciutto and that's it. Yeah, all right. I think I remember the first couple of times it was just cardboard and plastic in there, and so I kind of felt like, oh, that's not that interesting. But I think the first time when there was a bit of a payload of food, that's when I was like, oh my God. And that's what, you know, really triggered me wanting to continue doing it.
I think that once you go there and just see how much food every night goes to landfill, you know, like just hundreds of loaves of bread, and you know, we got a few tomatoes, but there were like 50 there, you know, like just so much food.
It's actually like heartbreaking
Yeah.
sometimes. And you can only take obviously so much. You want to take all of it and rescue it all.
We usually end up with a lot, like too much stuff at home.
We always
know?
have too much.
It's just like the challenge of it, you know, like rather than going to a shop.
Am I putting this in here?
Yeah, chuck it in there. Thanks. Like rather than going to a shop and thinking like, what do I want to make? I'm going to buy produce for that. You're starting first with like, what produce do I have, and then what recipes or like what creations can I use to fit that.
The other fun thing about it is you just encounter products that you wouldn't have used before, and so it's like it'd be interesting, like, how do I make use of this? Yeah, I don't go shopping anymore. Like I literally I think it was like one time falafels. I think now I don't really want to be bin diving, you know, like I want this to stop. You know, sure, it's a benefit that I'm eating for free, but it's more the stress of just realizing all the waste. I don't like that.
For me, it was like a really good thing to do on like an individual level for the environment. And you know, like there's so many things like we can do, like not driving and not using like plastics and things like that. But then this was just like so concrete, like this stuff is all going to landfill and I can reduce my waste.
Yeah, so true. I feel like so much your environmental impacts and destruction, they're so abstract. It's like, drive less, but like that helps carbon somewhere, do something. But it's like, this is direct, like that loaf isn't going to, you know, decompose in the land and go into the atmosphere, you know? Like that loaf is going to fuel us to be good people and have fun lives. And I don't know, there's just something very direct about doing it that way.
From the stats that I've seen is that worldwide, just in all parts of the food supply chain, that we waste about 30% of food, and then that will have impacts on the environment. So all the CO2 as the food degrades in landfill, and then just as well, just the wasted opportunity to utilize that food. I'm retrieving that waste, that usable waste from the bin, and then what I'm doing is I'll share it with friends and things like that, but I'll also advertise them on Food Bounty, the group on Facebook. It gives me a guaranteed outlet for the food. When people accept the food, they are so gracious and so grateful. Like they're just like, oh, you're so kind, you're so kind. I'm just like, I've just fished this from the bin and I'm happy to share it and just really want to encourage that culture of sharing and being aware. The thing I really like about the group as well is it has actually formed a community that's expanded further than people that I know.
And it's a really nice mix of people. It's like predominantly, I guess, like young, like share house vibes are a big thing. Just because, you know, we eat so much food and it's a really good thing for the environment. You know, my partner's mum, she's like a 60-year-old ex-chef and she goes diving because she's just so passionate about produce and about eating, you know, fresh food that's not going to go to landfill, that is good for the environment.
there's a lot of stigma to it, which I think works well for maintaining the status quo, the order of things, and also stops people being aware of the level of waste. So I think I'm at the stage of sharing the awareness of it.
Yeah, I think there's this stigma that food that goes in the bin isn't fresh or it's not fit for people to eat.
Yeah, it's also, the bins are like quite high and you don't get like bin juice all over you, and it's not like a very dirty event.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people are like, oh, you're jumping in bins, and it's like, no, it's quite the opposite. Like, it's
Totally.
very clean.
Breaking down that stigma is a great way to just make sure that food that is going to waste is free for everyone. So a lot of the people, you know, especially if they're friends, they want to understand why you do something, and then you start showing them photos of the trays of mangoes that you get out of the bin, or you show them photos of, you know, all of the bread that you can get, or all the amazing meals you can make from this food. Yeah, so people come around pretty quick. Yeah.
You can create like a beautiful meal like this.
Yeah.
You know, and it's food at the end of the day, and we all need to eat.
I'm not attached to dumpster diving. Like, I don't want to be doing it. I don't really want it to be like my whole identity. I'd rather that I know people are taking advantage of it, and then I feel like I've contributed. It's really not about being cheap. I feel like I have a bigger motive behind it, and that's why I keep doing it.